people often confuse. People have this mistaken notion that to respond to a situation of conflict, you must vent anger, you must react. No, a man at peace is the most powerful man on earth. Just because the society rejects me doesn't mean that I should also reject the society. Because the moment you do this, then you are becoming a part of the problem. Because you require two to create a conflict scenario, a conflict situation. The society rejects you, you think the society has labeled you as an outcast. So, you hit back by rejecting the society. Now, rejection again is of different kinds. If rejection is positive in the sense that you ignore what the society thinks about you and you focus or concentrate upon yourself as an individual, thus far very good. No harm done. But when rejection goes to the other extreme of behaving in ways that harms the society, gets back at the society, expression of revulsion, expression of reaction towards the society, then it creates a kind of a chain reaction. You hit back at the society hits back at you. So you have got into a situation from which has no solution. And naturally, because the society is larger, mightier than you as an individual, it will catch you, it will get you. So you're gone. You're writing your own epitaph. The other thing is when you reject by simply ignore. And what do? You focus upon yourself. You don't bother as to what the others are saying, only as long as, but its total negation of the community is also not good. You also need to take a look at whether your actions are creating a disturbance in the society. Interrogate that. I think one must, as an intellectual, as a thinking being, if not as an intellectual, even as a thinking being, as a rational being, we must always interrogate our conduct and see, is there anything in our conduct which is creating any wrong exemplification, any adverse impact on the society? Is it disrupting the processes of the society? And if you feel it is not, and the society is unjust, but at that time you need to objectify yourself, because most of the times we as individuals always justify our actions. So you need to objectify yourself and look at yourself as somebody else, as not you yourself but somebody else, and then see whether the behavior for which you were labeled was inappropriate or appropriate from the processes. That is, we shouldn't be exhibitionists. We shouldn't behave in a way that disrupts the processes of the society. If your action is not disrupting the behavior, the working of the society, and even then the society labels you then it is unjustified. You can ignore that and focus on yourself, focus on your development, because then the society is being exploitative and there could be reasons for that. You are either a minority in any sense of the term, could be by virtue of your color, by virtue of your religion, by virtue of your ideology, by virtue of your appearance. It could be by virtue of anything. So the society is basically trying to bully you into submission. This is an unbalanced situation. And as I was telling earlier also, nature abhors imbalance. So how do you set right that imbalance? You set right that imbalance by working upon yourself. Because in the East, we always say, as I have been saying earlier, that Aham Brahma Asmi, I am the limitless. If I reform myself, if I evolve, and as a result of my evolutionary efforts, I become a man who is at peace with himself or herself. The peace in me should be such as cannot be unsettled or provoked or made brittle by any act of provocation from any outside or external agency. If my peace is so unshakable that nothing that the world says to me affects me, and I still continue to stay in a state of peace, then what will happen is that the people, that the community will also get impacted by that peace. Here I bring in a story from the life of the Buddha. The Buddha was walking and somebody abused him. A group of people, they were abusive. The Buddha was at peace with himself. Now here is a similar situation where a man at peace is being provoked to react by a bunch of hooligans or ruffians. So they abuse him. Now what does he do? Look at the response that the Buddha gives. The Buddha stays unruffled, undisturbed, totally undisturbed. And the Buddha says, young man, what do you do to a gift which is not accepted? He said, I return the gift. Yes. And Buddha says, well, young man, I also return your gift to you. Now, when you return the gift of calumny, of criticism to an individual, in the world of intellect, in the world of sensory reality, you may not understand the implication. But in the world which is impacted upon by the world of spirituality, spiritual power, it means a lot. It's something very, very powerful. Because when a man at peace is harangued or attacked, not necessarily with bats or pelted with stone, even with words, and the man in peace does not respond, peace is the most potent weapon in this world. people often confuse. People have this mistaken notion that to respond to a situation of conflict, you must vent anger. You must react. No. A man at peace is the most powerful man on earth. And Buddha is one such man. When he refuses to accept the gift, what he means to say is that this gift which came as an energy, because words are energy, they are vibrations of energy. Sound, words are sounds. Sound is a form of energy. This vibration of energy which came and hit Buddha, because the Buddha is a man at peace. He has the energy, consciousness that he has is completely coherent. It is a harmonized energy consciousness that he has. When it hits it, it rebounds, it ricochets. Just as it happens in the case of an echo. It hits and rebounds. And when it rebounds, who does it hit back? The person who uttered it. Means the person who released that negative force will receive the brunt of that force. Now, this is very, very dangerous. Very, very powerful. And this is the significance of a peaceful man. So when you become like a Buddha, you become peaceful. What the world says doesn't harm you, it harms the world. Because it goes back. Yeah, in his compassion, the Buddha can absorb that. Because he knows, as Christ says at the time of his crucifixion, God forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because if he does not do that, the negative energies that have been released by his detractors, Christ is a man at peace. Those energies will go back and hit those people. They will be destroyed. Because energy is very potent. Matter cannot withstand the onslaught of energy. And when they hit a peaceful man,